Paul Tudor Jones, jeden z najrešpektovanejších investorov a traderov na svete, mal rozhovor minulý týždeň, kde sa vyjadril ohľadom jeho názoru, kde vidí akciový trh do budúcna, ako bude centrálna banka postupovať s úrokovými sadzbami a jeho názor na bitcoin. V dnešnom videu si rozoberieme jeho rozhovor, ale najprv si poďme v rýchlosti povedať niečo o tomto človeku. Paul Tudor Jones sa narodil 28. septembra v roku 1958 v Memphise. Paul navštevoval univerzitu v Pensylvánii, kde sa stal šampiónom v boxe. Aby dokázal platiť svoje vzdelanie, si Paul privyrábal v rodinnej firme Daily News, kde písal články do novín pod prezývkou Paul Eagle. V roku 1980 bol prijatý na Harvardovú univerzitu, avšak do nej nenastúpil. Po ukončení školy ho jeho bratranec, ktorý robil ako výkonný riaditeľ pre najväčšiu spoločnosť, ktorá obchodovala s bavlnou, predstavil komunitnému traderovi Elimu Tullisovi. Tullis najal a mentoroval Jonesa v tradovaní cotton futures na newyorskej burze bavlny. Paul Tudor Jones sa rád zabával a jedného dňa po ťažkej noci zaspal v práci na stole a za toto dostal padáka. V tomto istom roku sa zamestnal ako broker komodít v spoločnosti E.F. Hutton. V roku 1980 založil svoju vlastnú investičnú spoločnosť Tudor Investment Corporation. Ako jeho prvý zákazník boli Eli Tullis, ktorý ho pred pár rokmi vyhodil, keď zaspal na stole. Jeho prvý veľký úspech prišiel v roku 1987, čo už teraz poznáme ako čierny pondelok.
Good evening, everyone. The law of gravity hit Wall Street today and financial markets around the world for that matter, as stock prices plunged even more than they did on Black Tuesday of 1929.
Black Monday sa nazýva deň, v ktorom akciový trh padol 22% za jediný deň a tento prepad patrí medzi najväčší jednodňový prepad v histórii akciových trhov. Paul Tudor Jones za tento deň zarobil $100 miliónov a získal 125% pre jeho fond. Toto získal vďaka veľkej short pozícii. Po tomto trade sa Jones stal známy medzi Wall Street. Druhý veľký trade, ktorý mu zaručil rešpekt v investičnom svete, prišiel v roku 1990, keď získal 87% zisk shortovaním japonských akcií. V roku 1994 dostal pokutu $800,000 od agentúry SEC za porušenie pravidla, ktoré sa volá uptick. Toto pravidlo, ktoré bolo zavedené v roku 1938, hovorí, že akcia sa nemôže shortovať pri padajúcej cene. Predaj akcie nakrátko, alebo teda short, je povolený len keď je cena nad poslednou obchodovanou cenou, alebo za poslednú obchodovanú cenu, keď bol pohyb medzi obchodovanými cenami smerom nahor. V roku 2008 zažil jediný negatívny rok, kde jeho fond bol dole 4%, avšak toto bolo hlavne kvôli tomu, že stratil $100 miliónov v aktívach, ktoré mal uložené v banke Lehman Brothers, ktorá bohužiaľ skolabovala. V tomto istom roku bol pridaný do siene slávy, hedž fond menežérov, ku menám ako James Simons, George Soros, Stephen Cohen alebo Seth Klarman. Jeho investičná filozofia je založená na technickej analýze a impulzoch, ktoré práve ovládajú trhy. Tak a teraz sa poďme pozrieť na jeho najnovší rozhovor a čo si myslí o dnešnom prostredí. V prvej časti vyjadril svoj názor, či centrálna banka bude ešte dvíhať úrokové sadzby, alebo už skončila.
I'm so glad I don't have his job because listening to these guys try to not say what they really want to say and what they really think.
What do you think he really wants to say?
Oh, he wants to say we're done, we've gone too far, and enough's enough. That's what he wants to say. He just can't say that because he's new on the board and he has to follow the chairman. But that's what he wants to say.
And what do you want to say? If you
I think he's right. I think they're done.
You think they are done?
Oh, definitely. I think they're done. I mean, they could probably declare victory now because if you look at CPI, it's been declining 12 straight months. 12 straight months. That's never happened before in history. So there's a strong downward arc to inflation at the moment. Two-year break-evens are under 2%. Clearly, they have to be governed by trailing 12-month inflation. But if we get to the here and now, you can see that inflation, to a great extent, has been wrung out of the market. Now, does that mean that we're getting ready to imminently cut? No. But you got to think of interest rates a bit like chemo. So chemotherapy, chemo is poison. Interest rates with the kind of amount of sector-wide debt that we have between private consumer and the government, we're probably at levels where we've typically hit a recession in the past because of the interest tax on the economy. So we're at a level that historically has really slowed the economy and historically has kicked off a recession. I think it's just a question of waiting for that tax on the economy to work its way through.
Mistake then for them to raise interest rates?
Would have been a jump ball for me. I would have been 50-50 on the last one. I could have been talked out of it. I would have been reluctant to do it. The only reason why I probably would maybe have gone along with it is because I think equity prices are going to they're going to continue to go up this year, and the financial cycle drives so much of the business cycle.
Okay.
So,
but let me just pick up on what you just said. You said you think equity prices are going to go up this year.
Oh yeah.
So you think they're going to end higher than where we are right now?
Oh yeah.
Druhý jeho názor bol ohľadom predikcie finančných trhov a o tom, že počas rokovania o dlhovom strope máme risk, ktorý je započítaný v cenách akcií, pričom keď sa dlhový strop navýši, tak to odstráni prémiu risku a trhy by mohli rásť.
I think that's what this debt ceiling is going to be. It's going to be kabuki theater, a little throw up, and the real question is where are we going to be a month from now? A month from now, after it's resolved, then where are 2-year rates? My guess is they may be a little higher. There's risk premiums in everything. Risk premiums in gold, risk premium in stocks, risk premium in rate structures, because we're all terrified of the debt ceiling. So if those are gone, stocks are probably a little higher, gold's probably a little lower, rates might be a touch higher because those risk premiums will disappear. So that's the very shortest term.
V tretej časti vyjadril svoj názor ohľadom bankovnej krízy a prečo si myslí, že bola spôsobená.
I think that's one of the reasons why that was the last hike. I mean, this banking crisis, it's troubling to me because we just killed 3 big banks. And when I say we, I think bad monetary policy combined with bad fiscal policy created a situation that never had to happen. We knew in the fourth quarter of 2020, it was so obvious we were going to have a vaccine, but we continued with quantitative easing for an entire year after that. And the whole time, we're telling everyone rates are going to stay low forever. Inflation is not an issue. We're trying to get inflation above 2%. The banks, anyone that was listening to our Fed at that point in time was probably doing exactly what these banks did, extending maturities because they were being told that inflation didn't exist when it finally did come as transitory and rates were going to be low forever. We did not have to have all that overstimulus, and then all of a sudden we found out inflation wasn't transitory. They had to course correct a over-exaggeration of what they were doing in 2020 monetary policy.
Paul bol veľký kupca bitcoinu v roku 2020 a tu je jeho názor na túto kryptomenu.
Okay, I got a different one for you. Bitcoin. You came on our air during the early part of the pandemic. I think it was trading at $8,000-$9,000 a coin. And you said, I'm in. And I think you rode it all the way up to $60-some-odd thousand. And we then rode it back down to $15,000, and we're now sitting, I think, somewhere around $27,000.
I've never sat on a horse that long, just so you know.
So you're still on the horse, though?
From the beginning, I've always said I want to have a small allocation to it because it's a great tail event. It's the only thing that humans can't adjust the supply in. So I'm sticking with it. I'm going to always stick with it as just a small diversification in my portfolio.
Takže ďakujem vám krásne za pozrietie tohto videa. Ak sa vám video páči, to poprosím dajte like. A ak sa vám páči takýto formát videí, kde rozoberám rozhovory, tak napíšte do komentu. Ďakujem krásne, dovidenia.